NewsBiscuit. Real fake news.
Welcome to NewsBiscuit, the UK's original fake news. NewsBiscuit, still not as dumb as Liz Truss. I'm your host, Wrenfoe, and I'm joined by three people who should know better. Chipchase.
Good morning.
Dan Wakeling.
All right.
And Paul L.
Hello.
This month sees flash floods help water companies redistribute their sewage. Post office victims are offered £600,000 in Shield stamps. And Mexico reveals alien life only for America to promptly deport it. And that brings us to our first round news and brief, where our panelists select their favourite headlines. Paul, we'll kick off with you.
After exhaustive evaluation process, Murdoch selects his son as new chairman.
Yes, it's the most disappointing end to that Succession TV show, isn't it?
I'm getting confused with what's what. I was like, oh, new series. I was like, no, this is the real one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I thought Bran Cox has let himself go a bit.
When I read it, I was quite excited because I assumed he was dead. But no, he's just retiring. He's just retiring to be... I don't know, what do you do if you're that evil when you retire? Do you just go into a cave somewhere and brood in darkness?
Give him more time to practice his Mr. Burns tribute act, perhaps.
You just got to hope that the hobbits don't get the ring to Mount Doom.
Crossword compiler has a lot to answer for. And the news of Liz Truss' book, we've got some rejected titles for Liz Truss's book. All trussed up and nowhere to go. It wasn't me. And Pork Market, a beginner's guide.
I was so surprised that Liz Truss came back as a thing so quickly.
Yeah.
She'd left in such shame and embarrassment. Well, clearly she wasn't shamed because she's come back.
No, neck of brass.
Most people have the common sense to, you invade Iraq illegally, you keep quiet for a couple of weeks. But she's just rocked up. We do remember her crashing the economy, don't we? That wasn't like years ago. That was quite recently.
It's all forgiven now, isn't it? We've forgotten. It's just all forgiven.
It wasn't her.
Exactly. Hard-pressed vegetable grower takes a cut in celery.
Oh.
There we go.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the episode. Dan, what have you got?
Isosceles triangles demand equilateral rights.
There's a lot of maths-type puns on NewsBiscuit. These crop up a lot. And I think we're sorely misjudging our audience. I don't think our audience is that clever.
New treatment for premature ejaculation was a long time coming. New government promises to knock down 40 hospitals.
Well, I feel that's a target they can keep, at least.
Yeah.
Doctors will enjoy working in porta cabins when they have to.
Well,
Genius said that was a Braverman, was it? Or the other
No,
one?
it's Gillian Keegan said
Keegan,
school kids enjoyed being in porta cabins more. And I know everyone was like, oh, she's an insensitive Tory and blah, blah, blah. But actually, probably right, because porta cabins are really nice now. I don't know if anyone's been in one. They're not the porta cabins of our youth. They are genuinely really nice porta cabins, and they are much nicer than the classrooms you get in schools. I should also point, I'm sponsored by porta cabin.
Yeah. Schools break up as kids go back.
Shoplifting epidemic. 14 branches of Wilko are missing.
I mean, Wilco shutting down is obviously, a slightly sad thing, but everyone does that thing. They're like, oh, Wilco's shutting down. And then you ask them a question, when was the last time you shopped at Wilco?
6 years ago.
Yeah, 6 years ago. Yeah, that is why it's shut down.
I have to say, mine was this year. I didn't buy anything, but I did look around.
Shoplifting.
Yeah.
That hastened their demise that much quicker.
Roger, Wilco, over.
I mean, I was working in a Woolworths in a stockroom as a student, sort of months before it fell apart. And I remember vividly looking at how it was run and everything and going, no, you guys are going out of business, particularly as the staff was stealing so much of the product. I mean, every day with the shift swap, people were just walking out with like huge bin bags full of loot. And I'm like, this isn't sustainable, is it?
On that note, have you been in a Smith's recently?
What, that's a
WH
place to nick, is it?
Yeah.
Are you advising other shoplifters?
I went in one with no windows, and it was it's the most depressing afternoon I've spent for a while.
It's all been stolen.
You spent the whole afternoon there, Paul. Just a lonely man in a rain mat.
And I've got quite a nice coat, thank you. I do put the effort in.
Yeah.
It's just lonely.
He just sidles up to other customers.
This place is closing soon.
What are you buying?
Thank you, Paul. Chipchase, what do you got?
Dangerous Schools inquiry to look for concrete facts. Police banning certain breeds of chav more effective than banning their dogs.
This is reference to what they call the American XL bully or something.
Yeah, does
this
XL
dog?
stand for extra large? That's all I can think of every time I see it.
Yeah, no, I think they do. I think they do genuinely come in sizes. I think.
Oh, so you get an American M bully, an M bully, and an S bully.
Yeah. Of course, men will only have them in 3 sizes. These dogs, but women will have them in 20 sizes, and none of them will fit.
Put them in a meal deal and get a Pomeranian with them as well.
But the thing about it is that, of course, everyone was going, well, this, obviously you might have to ban these dangerous dogs, but isn't it really sad about the dogs that are already there and who are nice dogs and they've got nice owners? And I'm sort of nodding along. And then they show me photographs of these dogs and they look like vicious bastards.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you've got to ban that dog. That is a scary looking dog.
There's one lives near us, and every time I see it, I sort of flinch. I think, Christ, I hope that doesn't break its lead, because it looks at me as if it's seen lunch. He loves kiddies, don't he? Yeah, about 2 of them a day.
Now we get to True Biscuit. Panel has to guess which is a real headline and which is a fake one. Oh, I love this. This is the best bit of the I love this. And I'm confused for the rest of the day.
Arno Rubik, who created the Rubik's Cube, took him a month to actually solve it.
So he invented a thing.
Yeah.
Are we saying that the one he invented, the one he made, was already messed up, that the colours weren't all aligned, and he's like, oh, that looks rubbish, and then he's having to like... I guess
so. This may not or may not help. He made it out of wooden blocks.
No, it doesn't help.
I didn't think it would. I didn't think it would. That's why I gave it.
If anything, Chipchase, it's a complete irrelevance. I don't know what you're talking about.
And his curtains were green.
What are you giving us?
I mean, the irony is, some super switched on school kid can do it in about 3 seconds.
I wonder what happens to those kids when they get older, the ones who do the Rubik's Cube 3 fast. I'd love to think they go into bomb disposal.
Or safe cracking.
Safe cracking. It's done.
There's a couple of them down Smith's. We hang out together down Smith's.
One thing I can guarantee is that none of them can undo a bra strap.
Do you invent something, then work out what its use is after? I don't know. It's like the toilet. You go, well, I've got a lovely drainage system here. What can I use it for?
Oh, I need to go. And then you just well, we suggested that he didn't know what he'd invented. He just invented a cube and then was like, oh, shit, this is a shit cube, trying to get it all straight. And then he's going, people will enjoy that entire process that's taken me a month.
Well, apparently he worked. One of his hobbies was sort of inventing geometrical devices and shapes and things like that.
Yeah, that sounds like a regular hobby.
Yeah.
When you get asked what hobbies you do,
I like geometrical shapes. Like, yes.
I mean, I think if I'd invented something and it didn't work like that, I think I would have treated it like Alexander the Great did with the Gordian knot. I'd just get a sword and smash into it and go, there you go, fixed. I mean, it's a stupid story. You're a stupid man for bringing it to us.
Yes.
It fills a few minutes, I guess, of the podcast, so we'll accept that.
I'm going to say false, because I think if you're going to invent something, you should know how it works.
Very sensible answer.
I'm going for false as well, because Dan was very convincing. I was swayed by his arguments.
Yeah, well done, Dan.
Well, it's actually true.
No,
yes.
I could have sworn in my head I was going, that's definitely a NewsBiscuit's headline.
Yeah, no, it's true. Well, I don't know what the source material is, but it's true. I trawled it on the internet and I found...
Is it NewsBiscuit? Take you back to our site.
And I found multiple references to it being a fact. So, but I mean, your question's right.
And I'm surely, I mean, you took it a whole month. I mean, I would have done it for a couple of days maybe, and then I would have reached a point gone, actually, maybe this doesn't work.
Yeah.
Imagine if other inventions had done that, like those bridges that go up and down to let boats through. It's like, well, we've tried making it go down into the water and we're stumped.
God, NASA would have had a terrible time. Every component part of the thing, and all the astronauts are going, we're going to die. Dan.
Old Swan, Mr. Nasty, loses fight against eviction from home.
There's various things there. I mean, I can imagine there being a swan called Mr. Nasty, because swans are renowned for their bad tempers. But he loses his fight against eviction. Are swans able to sort of
they go down the local planning office?
Yes, you can sign this or break your arm. Okay.
I don't know if you've ever tried to make a swan go somewhere it doesn't want to go, but they don't
Yeah.
like it.
Nasty bastards.
Okay,
They are
what
nasty
kind of
bastards.
confession is this, Stan? I tried to make a swan go all the way, and he was very angry.
Who called him Mr. Nasty, though? Is he
Well, the swan's got a bit of a backstory. Apparently, it was like tricking other swans into a deeper part of the lake and then drowning them, which is why
What
they
the
evicted
fuck?
it.
What a bastard.
That's Mr. Bastard.
Yeah.
Mr. Nasty sounds quite mild in comparison to what he's
Yeah.
doing. He drags other swans out to lake and drowns them.
Yeah.
Swan serial killer.
Jack the Nipper?
Yeah.
And is that the grounds on which he was evicted?
You'd
Because
hope.
so it wasn't like playing his music too loud or anything. It was the constant murdering that had upset his neighbours.
Yeah.
Well, the constant murdering, it's fine, but you won't clean up the bodies, and that's littering. So we're in How much of your deposit do you think you'd lose if you started serial killing on the property?
Oh, all of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I reckon if you confessed to your landlord, I think they'd be too scared to kick you out.
Yeah.
Mr. Nasty as well. It sounds like sort of an early kind of song names for ELO, doesn't it? Gonna do a song about a murdering swan.
Yeah. I've got this sort of mental picture it conjures up. You know, this thing sitting. Is it swans that hiss?
Yeah.
They hiss at you, don't they? Yeah. Plenty of
Yeah.
hissing going on.
They don't like the show.
They're terrible. Terrible.
I hate it now.
Terrible
yeah.
audience. So where does a homeless swan go once they've been evicted? Do
New
they?
pond and settle in and then sort of start resuming their evil work a couple of months later.
Yeah, because once you've got a taste for it.
In defence of swans, I have never met a ill-behaved
Every-
one.
Have you not?
No.
Is this what you do in your mornings before you go to shops?
When they come round for dinner, they're always well behaved.
Yes, I've viewed them from afar, and they seem fine. I mean, I'm just putting the other side to the story. That's all I'm doing. I mean,
They're not all nasty.
I don't think so. Let's not tar them with all the same brush.
Right.
This one,
Yeah. You do at least agree with us. You do concede the fact that drowning your fellow man is just, or fellow swan in this case, is a bad thing.
I concede that.
Okay.
I think this is true.
I'm going false. I think it's a NewsBiscuit story because we're demonising these swans.
You could say because I wrote it.
Yeah, that'll be it.
That's true.
Oh,
There is a murdering swan out there called Mr. Nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Do they not
lock
just-
up your swans.
Aren't you supposed to destroy an animal when they're out? No, when they're out.
you've
killing
had
everyone
dogs,
else.
you've had
Put down,
swans,
humanely put
Wrenfoe.
down.
Put them all down.
Yeah.
Bad XL swans.
Paul, your turn.
All-you-can-eat restaurant, measured boy, age 10, then charged him adult price.
I thought you were going to say they measured him so they could eat him.
Yes. I thought we were going to measure him. Yeah. Check his dimensions going out.
Off the back of the swan story, I was expecting something horrific.
They sat down, the family. Restaurateur, the owner of the restaurant, came and took the sons away.
Oh yeah, that's a regular thing that happens in
Yeah.
restaurants.
The dad said he didn't question it. He said, "I thought it was for a lollipop or something."
Oh,
Is it like on a ride?
Yes.
Then at a fairground that you go and you have to stand next to a thing and
They had a measuring stick in the restaurant. I thought it was waist size for a minute,
yeah.
Yeah, so did I.
but it was height. And then they came over and said, "Oh no, your son's too tall, and we'll be charging the adult price."
You see, we're getting this spin on the story, but what I think was happening is a bloke's gone to a restaurant with his 3 mates and tried to pass them off as children,
Yeah,
despite the fact they're burly 6'5" with beards. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're all
yeah.
10 years old.
The twist is though that the other boy who got taken away with his son, who is shorter apparently, was charged the child's rate. So, as you said,
That's not a twist. That makes sense. Doesn't
Yeah.
I was trying to make it sound interesting.
Yeah.
The twist being the short one was they charged the child. That's not a twist.
The twist is the system's working.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a hilarious story, but it gets darker when you realise this was a Pizza Express in Woking and they had a private guest in the back.
The dad says it was on my mind all the time, and it totally ruined my evening. It left a
Bet you
bitter
did.
taste in his mouth.
Did he leave a tip?
He left the other boy.
How did
The next twist
Yeah. a twist that's not
Or
a
the
twist.
first twist. The first twist,
The
perhaps.
twist is it was a restaurant. Yeah, well done, Paul. Yes. Yeah.
The
I
next
don't think you
twist-
understand the word twist. I think
No,
that's
no,
coming
I-
through
I-
strongly. The
I-
next bit of information is what you want to say.
The next reveal, the next twist is like the restaurant owner did say. Sometimes you get a child who is 15 and 6'2", and they eat more than anyone else.
Oh, so he's made a correlation between height and consumption.
But then then he has to, if he's going to be fair, he has to let the reverse kind of pan out. So if you rock up with a date and she's particularly petite, you should be able to go, child menu for my
Yes, I
for
think
my
so.
partner, please, this evening.
I
And
understand
obviously it's
that
not going to go down well with her, and it's going to
if you're
sound
on a-
quite dodgy. I'd like a child menu for my date this evening. Sorry, sir. We'll just call the police.
All right. Is this? Can you divulge whether or not this is UK or American based? This story.
It is, I believe, in Sheffield.
You got a permit for that tall child?
He's a real lad, isn't he? Yeah.
That has to be true. If, for the UK, that's got to be true.
Yeah, another one for true here. I think it's definitely true.
Well, the twist is, it's true.
It's true. I think we've got time to go around again. So, Chipchase, have you got a second one for us?
The first roller coaster wasn't actually a fairground ride at all.
What was it? Just a train track gone wrong?
Is it an ill-fated punishment for prisoners? Like, right, you're going down for murder. You're going to go round and round on this tube for a few days.
Is this another Rubik's Cube type situation? Well, we've designed this.
It was just there. I mean, what? Was it connected to anything? What was the motivation for building it in the first place? Was it for pleasure or?
I couldn't possibly tell you that.
Well, this is your story, isn't it? I mean,
It is, but yeah. Well, you know,
right,
don't
okay.
want to
Yeah,
give the game away, do I? You know, the fact that it could be false or true.
These aren't usually interrogations.
Yeah.
Just
I
do
thought
you
they
need to have your lawyer present in the room with you
Yes.
while you tell us this story? I'm like, God, he's so
The difference is,
cagey.
I like the idea that the guy who invented the roller coaster also took a month to ride it.
Well, actually, looking at roller coaster, I don't think you would ride it, would you? You finish building that and go, that is unsafe.
Yeah, I'm not getting on that.
Yeah,
You wouldn't want to
safety.
be the test pilot to just no.
I'll give you. It did have a practical use.
What other scenario in life is it seen as a good thing to shake someone up?
Well,
and-
see, this is. the
Oh,
beauty of
it's not like a crash test thing, is it? So
Oh.
to see
No.
the kind of resilience of kind of the cars as they go up and down. No, that would be sensible. And Dan's idea of that it's some sort of torture device, is that no?
Maybe the guy who made it didn't know what he'd done. He was just like, yeah, no, I just woke up 5 days later and this was here.
Well, can't even remember building it.
Yeah.
Like a drunken thing, like eBay, drunken ordering on eBay, and then you find
What I
yourself.
thought, yeah.
Maybe it was an early tumble dryer. You go on with your clothes all wet.
Mm.
At the end, they sort of you shake and dry. Yeah, an early way, sort of do it yourself kind of cocktail mixer. Oh, Minecrafts is in mines. They have those things go up and down, don't they? Is it just to make scouts vomit? Because that was the
yeah.
did
Jim
Jimmy
will
Savile-
fix it.
Jim will fix it.
Jim will fix
We're
it,
not
yeah.
allowed to talk about him anymore.
No, you're not. No, I'm
But-
surprised you brought that up. It's very indelicate.
Well, what with Russell Brand being in the news, I think we can get away with anything.
That's where we got that story in.
Yeah.
with the-
Yeah.
the roller coasters.
I'm going to go false because my head hurts and I can't work out what it could be.
I want it to be true, so I'm going to say true because I like the idea of something. What is this? What have I done?
Well, Wrenfoe, you came very close.
Did I?
You did, yeah. Imagine Much Chunk Switchback Railway in Pennsylvania, which was part of a coal mine. When locals realized it went up to 50 miles an hour, they started asking the owner, could we ride that for 50 cents?
This is also how other
what's for the-
things got started, like Laser Quest. Someone's getting laser
Yeah.
eye surgery, and then someone's like, look, 10 quid, let me point that at my wife.
I once went on, I think they might be called Wurlitzers, but it was like a spinny round thing.
Yeah.
And I had my leg in plaster at the time. And my leg was slightly sticking out at a jaunty angle. There were lots of people sort of standing around watching us go around this thing. and one guy was standing a little bit too close, and my leg, which was in plaster, clipped the back of his head, and he went down like a sack of potatoes.
Wow.
But it was great. It was like the perfect crime because I was speeding round at sort of 50 miles an hour. I was gone by the time he got up, and he was like, "What hit me?" And he was looking around. He thought someone had punched him, but it was no, my leg in plaster.
That was my dad.
Oh, what's your second one?
Passengers on a bus in Devon receive shock when pony tries to get on board.
Was the pony unaccompanied?
The horse was seen guided on by two people in high-vis jackets.
What did the driver do? Tell him to hoof it?
Sorry, is it a horse or is it a pony?
Pony, sorry, did I say horse? It's a pony. It's a pony. Don't be ridiculous. The horse would be silly.
It wouldn't be horses. Horses are very anti-trains.
Where would you sit it? I'd have to go in the luggage rack with it.
A little bit they reserve for prams, mums with prams.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened? There's this pony wandering around, and they thought, well, how can we rescue it?
How can we rescue it? We'll put it on a bus. This is their thinking. Is that how you rescue animals? We'll put it on public transport.
Kind members of the public climbed out to calm the animal and call for help. A single decker passed and loaded the pony on board to safety.
What a strange solution to a problem.
And the police arrived, and we were all a bit flummoxed about what to do, to be honest. So the Cardiff bus driver said, "Why don't we just put it on the bus?" And I couldn't really see any other option.
God, that's an unimaginative group of people, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where someone comes up with a profoundly stupid idea and no one has the gumption to turn around and go, well, that's madness.
What if they found a bomb?
Yes. We'll just stick it on the bus and hope Keanu Reeves can sort it out in time.
So, this is two stories in one, in fact.
Oh.
It happened in Devon, as I initially said, and Cardiff.
Is it the same driver? Each time luring ponies onto his thing and then taking them away to the glue factory.
So,
It's the lumps of sugar give it away, isn't it?
What also is this thing about the ponies are in trouble? What kind of trouble are they in that getting on a bus makes things better?
Yeah, so the conclusion to this story, and there is one. A passerby snapped a hilarious photo of the pony on board the bus as it was driven to a bus stop at a nearby hospital where it was reunited with its owner.
The owner who had travelled there by hippo, presumably.
Yeah.
Chipchase gives us nothing. And then you're giving us too much information. You're just like hurling stuff at a wall and letting something stick. The reason this pony was in distress was because they'd been separated from their owner.
Yes.
Who had perhaps
at the hospital.
sensibly. Now, this is the thing. I'm in support of the owner on this because, if I am going to the hospital and I've got a pet pony, I'm not thinking I need to take the pony with me. It makes more sense to leave the pony at home. But passers-by have come along and gone, no. The pony needs to be with its owner in A&E.
Perfectly logical.
This is madness.
The pony, police, sorry, not the pony. The police, one more bit of information to add to the pot. The police tweeted that the pony was loose on the main A48 and wanted to stirrup a little trouble.
The police said that. The
Got a
police took
hands
their
up to
time
you.
to come up with a pun like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm more comfortable with the Met Police and their brutality than I am with their attempts at
Punning.
humour. That is
We
more
don't beat up.
painful.
We don't beat up innocent people. They don't write jokes. All right, let's stay in each other's balls.
Yeah, stay in your lane.
True.
God, I want it to be false. I hate this story.
You got a visceral reaction to this.
Yeah.
He hates it. He doesn't disbelieve it. He
Yeah,
hates
no,
it, Paul.
it's more my delivery, maybe. This is true.
Oh
'Cause-
God.
I mean, what is
couldn't
going
make it
on?
up. You couldn't make it up, could you?
You couldn't
This-
make it.
This is broken Britain right here.
Tell me
Last
next.
one then, Dan. I think it's you. Last one. Have you got a second
Okay.
one for us, Dan?
Lego company refused to assist in building America border wall. Yeah, the logic being that they have actually quite a lot of structural knowledge.
Normally, you want a border wall to look kind of dark and foreboding to discourage people coming. But Lego wall, it's going to be colourful, isn't
I,
it?
Yeah.
I don't think the story is they were going to build it out of Lego bricks. So just they were going to use Lego. Hitachi, the people who make the sex toys, they make like washing machines and diggers as well.
The company that make the what? We said that. Did you say,
What?
Yeah.
I-
Hitachi, you know the sex wasps,
did you say sex wasps?
sex wands.
Sex wands?
Yeah,
I still don't know what that is. I mean, I
Yeah.
thought you said sex wasps, first of all.
okay. You know the company that make the diggers, they also make sex wands.
Okay, but you
Swans.
need to now explain what sex swans is. We don't all know Harry Potter. You're a little bit younger than us.
Yeah.
It's like picture a microphone. It's like shaped like a microphone, and the top bit vibrates.
Okay, but they call it a wand
Yeah.
because it's magic.
Oh, not a wasp then. Okay, right.
But a sex wasp, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? You don't really want to be stung by a wasp, but if it's a sex wasp, you're like, maybe it's worth it.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about sex wasp, as opposed to a sex bee, sex wasps can keep doing it, can't they? They keep
Yeah,
stinging
they
you.
could,
Whereas sex
yeah.
bee, you only get one hit, and that's it.
That's it. Gone.
Sex wasp is the multiple orgasm of the sex-related insect world.
I've actually forgotten what the story was.
No, I'm down my rabbit hole. Sex wasp, sex wasp. Paul's just got
America
into
reached out to Lego.
That's it.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
Sorry.
At my age, it's hard to remember.
I was just typing sex wasp into.
Well, the great thing about it is if you get 0 hits back, no one's invented it yet, Paul. And
Yes.
there's definitely a little niche there.
Yeah.
But why Lego? That doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't you go to some big sort of proper engineering company? You know, the build.
Well,
guess-
Dad's explained. Hitachi's too busy building sex
Oh,
wasps.
okay.
And they haven't
They
got
all-
time to. But I wonder as well, like Lego, whether they could do different themes for different bits of the wall. So there'd be the Harry Potter wall
Yeah,
bit, and it's
yeah.
all sort of gothic kind of looking.
Star
And then there's
Wars
the
bit.
Star Wars one, and
Yeah.
then it'll have laser turrets and things. What's there's the Lego for like little kiddies, like Duplo.
Duplo.
Yeah, and a Duplo version.
I mean, it is difficult when you wake up at night and you haven't turned the lights on. You accidentally step on your kid's border wall that he's left
Yeah,
out.
It's true because they would have the knowledge how to construct things. They wouldn't do it, would they? I mean,
Okay, well, great power comes great responsibility. Is that what you're saying, Paul?
yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. It is now.
It is now. Chipchase.
Well, I'm going to go false.
Right. I believe in sex wasp, even if the rest of you don't.
It's false. It was a made up story.
Is this a NewsBiscuit one then?
This is a NewsBiscuit one, yes.
No, that is
Oh.
shocking.
Yeah.
We should have written and funny enough, we should have written the sex wasp story because
Yeah.
that would have been much better. Finally, we reached the magic 8 ball.
The magic 8 ball!
Each of our guests is going to give us their predictions for next month's news.
Jacob Rees-Mogg hails newfangled high-tech magic lantern moving picture device as the future.
Masochist Union announced strike demanding unsafe work conditions and unfair pay.
Sounds like the Labour Party's manifesto.
Number 10 to ban younger generation from ever buying cigarettes so they can enjoy environmental collapse in good health.
Yeah, you might as well vape as the world goes to hell, shouldn't you? Right. And that brings us to the end of this episode, and I can reveal this month's winner is anyone who isn't Russell Brand. And I'd like to thank our guests, Chipchase
Thank you.
and Dan Wakeling.
Yeah, it's all right.
It was all right, wasn't it, Dan? It was all right. I mean, I know you came with low expectation. It wasn't as bad as what you thought it was going to be, and I think that's the takeaway from today. And Paul L.
Thank you. I can't remember what we say at the end.
No, I get a lot of variation. I get sort of ta-ta, goodbye. Some people
Oh.
say thank you. I think it confuses people. Maybe we don't. Do we do goodbye anymore? Actually, as people, I don't say goodbye as much as I used to.
No,
No.
I just walk out. I just walk out of the
storm
room.
off. Storm
I
off.
just, yeah.
just fade away. Just
I don't. No, I'm sure it's dying out. I don't say hello and goodbye like I used to, like 10, 20 years ago.
Terrible.
Just kick them in the head at 50 miles per hour and
Yeah.
disappear.
Yeah.
Wrenfoe, do you just walk into a room and start talking? Just-
That's pretty much, yeah. Yeah, is that wrong?
Standards are slipping. That's
All the people in the theatre obviously hush me down, but I
Yes.
just carry on talking anyway. I leave you with that. Go away and think about that because I reckon we don't say hello and goodbye very often now.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'll say goodbye then. Goodbye.
I'll
Right.
say hello.
God, you've messed up the continuity now. I'm going to have to edit that into the start now. Right, okay. And I leave you with these headlines. Porn star honoured with blue plaque. Prison staff missed warning sign when escapee asked for packed lunch. And Mike Yarwood praised for incredibly accurate impression of dead PM Harold Wilson. And if you're listening to this podcast episode years later, it's because Mike Yarwood just died last week. But I think he'd like the joke. I think he'd find it funny. But, well, even if he doesn't, he can't do anything now. He's dead. And on that note...
You've been listening to NewsBiscuit, free to read and free to write for. We accept submissions from any budding satirist, young or old. Visit newsbiscuit.com to submit headlines, stories, and to support new writers.
NewsBiscuit. Real fake news.
That was fine.
As Dan says, passable
Yeah, it was-
or whatever it was.
Adequate.
Acceptable.
Adequate,
I had a lovely time.
Good.
Yeah, but you've had the camera off for the last 20 minutes. You've just gone off. You've gone off to play with your sex wasp.
Yeah.
I know what you young kids do. I know we can hear the buzzing. We can hear the buzzing in the background. Don't think with the camera being off, we don't know what you're doing. It is because you can't be discreet. I see, unfortunately, with a sex wasp, it makes the same kind of noise that a vibrator makes as well. There's no, you can't be discreet about it. You need a quiet insect. What would be a quiet insect you could use as a sex toy?
Ooh.
A badger?
A sloth?
A badger! A
badger?
That famous
Ignoring
insect,
the idea
a
that that's
badger.
not an insect.
Yeah, sorry.
Ah.
I
It's quite a
panicked.
large animal.
A gnat? A gnat?
Paul,
What about
Paul
a
at
gnat?
home is constantly swatting badgers. Oh my word!
No, it's not an insect. Yeah, I just realised.
Panicked
go.
under pressure there, Paul. Name an insect, badger.
It's call that program. We asked 100 people.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and then we can do it. We can do our own version. We asked 100 people, and then we asked Paul. That's what we call it. And Paul just come up with a left field answer every time. Is it jelly? What? How could jelly be the
It's up
last
there, I'll
prime
give
minister?
you the money myself.
Yeah,
Isn't that
we
what's
were.
famous?